So over the weekend, Power Rangers now the source for all your Power Rangers news online in article form. They did an interview with Hasbro. Now, they did two different interviews, toy development team and brand and marketing. I'm not going to go over the toy side because the toy side is mostly about the Lightning figures, and if you've heard me talk about the Lightning figures, still not available in Australia yet. Still not available in Australia. They're unable to find them. They're not on toy shelves. They're not in collectible places. I've looked on sites like Mighty Ape, and if you go to Mighty Ape, you've basically got to pay double for what they are in America. You're paying $45 plus shipping, and I'd rather pay the $20 that they're worth in America, not double the price. Yeah, I know the dollar's different, but there's not much toy stuff to go over. There's one toy question that I wanted answer, and where is it? Scrozzle deserves an action figure. Give Scrozzle an action figure. Give Scrozzle an action figure. Sorry. Yeah, but give Scrozzle an action figure. I mean, they say there's a lot of characters in the show. We're limited how many we can do. We try to pick the best of the best. Scrozzle is the best of the best, Hasbro. He is a fan favorite. And they say they watch the Super Sentai to get some ideas. And they say you can't do everyone. And the last question I want to know is, when is that Grid Battle Force bag coming out? So let's read the questions. Where is it? I lost it. How professional of me. Yeah. No, wait, no, I went scrolled. Okay, here it is. Brand and marketing. There's the other question that I want to go over about the Grid Battle Force backpack that's been on display at toy fairs and stuff like that, saying later this year only at GameStop. Maybe I'll import that, because if you go to EB Games, you go to GameStop, they've got these weird exclusive bags that are really cool, and I want to get that Grid Battle Force bag. It'd be fun for traveling and stuff like that. Sure, it'll look a bit dorky on me, but who cares? It's a cool looking bag. I do like the design for it. So let's read the brand and marketing team questions for this Q&A. Okay, what will Power Ranger Beast Morphers second season in 2020 be called? I don't think we can confirm that just yet. Let's just say fans should not expect the word super to appear in the title. Okay, so that's a good thing for fans, because fans don't like the super in every title of the Neo Saban era, because that was the big thing they did in the Neo Saban. Super Samurai, Super Megaforce, Super Dino Charge, or Dino Supercharge, Super Ninja Steel. It looks like Hasbro is going to be moving away from the super name in their title. Maybe they won't use super and they'll use like a different adjective to describe it, but the super was there to sell toys, so you can say these toys are different and stuff like that. When will Beast Morphers return to the United States? No idea. They've got no idea. Just like how people ask me when I post a review of past episode 8, when people say, when is it going to air in America? Or when is it going to air in the UK? And I say, no idea. They've got no idea as well. Next question. Okay, I need to take a drink of my, I need to take a drink. So, Power Rangers airing overseas, people are being spoiled online, and they say they've got no control over it. Okay. Now, this is an interesting question. I do apologize if I'm just zooming past those ones, but those ones I can't really give my thoughts on it. I mean, they say what I'm saying. I mean, they've got no control over it, and they want to provide global content as well. So that's really good that they say global content's important too, and they're sorry you're getting spoiled. So let's read this one. Power Rangers Beast Morphers has the lowest rating of the franchise so far. I did not know that. I did not know that ratings were that bad for Power Ranger Beast Morphers. I thought they'd be doing at least better than last year with Super Ninja Steel or Ninja Steel, but they say, we think we're in a good spot, especially considering how the entire television landscape is shifting. Okay, that is a really interesting answer, but Power Rangers is there to sell toys. The ratings might do bad, but as long as the toys are doing well, they don't care. The Power Rangers is there to sell toys. Ratings is a second thing. Let the network think about ratings. So, that line where it says the entire landscape of television is shifting, that is an interesting question, because everything's going streaming to digital. I don't know if Hasbro's got their own digital streaming service planned, or they have certain shows that they make that go straight to streaming, but who knows? Maybe they say, we're not doing Power Rangers on Nickelodeon anymore. We're going to film an entire season and put it on Netflix or something. Who knows? So that's a good question. Okay, here's one but everyone's been asking for. Why was the Gold Ranger based on a Mantis in the TV show? Here's Hasbro's answer. This is something that a lot of people get into a lot of flame wars and a lot of heated arguments. I try and make my excuse saying because beetle collecting is not a popular thing in the United States. It's more of a Japan thing where beetle culture is a thing in Japan. Like, you've seen Metalbots, Big Bad Beetle Blogs and stuff like that in Japan. They're a thing over there. So here's Hasbro's answer. So apparently the Rhino Beetle, okay, let me read that again. So apparently a Rhino Beetle and Super Sentai, but we have to make the show for kids. So we need to ensure that the types of animals we choose are ones that kids can say and recognize. That's a really weird but interesting answer. Animals we choose are ones that kids can say and recognize. I'm guessing they're saying kids are dumb. Well, they're not saying kids are dumb, but they're saying not every kid is going to know what a Rhino Beetle is. Not every kid is going to know what, like, the beetle family is. I'm sure there's kids that are obsessed with beetles and they go beetle hunting and stuff like that. But I guess they're saying not every kid is going to know what a Rhino Beetle is, if you know what I mean. Not every kid is going to know what a beetle, like Rhino Beetle is. But when, like, a kid goes outside, they might find a praying mantis in their attic or in the corner of their room or in their house. Mantis are usually common during a certain time of the year when they hide inside or hide outside, so I guess that answer makes sense. Okay. Why was the Beast Morpher cast not at Comic-Con? This was the main question that a lot of people asked. Why did they not bring him to Comic-Con? Why didn't they not bring your brand new cast to Comic-Con? And their answer, they're defending the Morphin Grid from Evox, obviously, but seriously, we wanted the focus on toys at the convention. I think this answer was given a few weeks before, like, as soon as I think this answer was given by Power Rangers now, because they did ask on Twitter, and Hasbro did say that answer, saying they wanted the focus on toys. And that's what Hasbro mostly did at the panel. They focused on toys, and then a little bit of Beast Morphers of the show. So that's a really, like, Hasbro-y answer, because they sell toys first, and then focus on the toy show later. So that's a weird answer, but they should have at least let the cast come along. I think Saban even let them come along for some conventions. They picked a few Rangers that were really well loved and they let them come along, and then the others came with their own money or on their own accord, if I remember correctly. Here's another fun question that they asked. Would you say Space or Dinosaurs is a better season moving forward? Now, this is a fun trick question that I don't think even the questionnaire knew, like the person getting asked the questions knew what they were talking about. They're not a big Sentai fan, because there's 2 seasons in the Sentai that they haven't done. Q Ranger, which is the big space series that they've got in space, it's sort of like, if they redo it, it's going to be like another Power Rangers in space, depending on how they adapt it. And then they've got a brand new dinosaur season, Kyusoga? Kyusoga? Is that the one I'm thinking of? I know it aired recently, and I'm a big dummy for forgetting, but anyway, they're saying which is better, space or dinosaurs? And they're saying, what a strange question, let's just say both for us. And we know that there are fan favourite themes of previous seasons, so I guess they got stumped by the question. They thought they were trying to... I get what Power Rangers now are asking, saying, it's a trick question, what do you think's better, space or dinosaurs, with the current Sentai stuff that hasn't been adapted yet? And they're like, let's talk about Mighty Morphin in space. They've been themes. Yeah. Okay, so there seems to be a growing chatter of a Power Rangers animated series. Is there any truth to it? We haven't heard those rumors, but right now we're just trying to take over the brand from Saban. For a lot of things we'd like to explore with the right timing. Okay. Interesting question. I know there's been a rumor about a Power Rangers series for the longest time. Well, the guy who did the Castlevania series said he wants to do an animated Power Ranger series, from what I've heard. He wants to do a lot of animated series. He wants to do Berserk. Let him do Berserk first, because if he does Berserk like he did Castlevania, that'd be really cool. Is Power Rangers HyperForce Season 2 dead yet? That one we can't comment on, so is it dead or is it not dead? I would like to know, because I really liked HyperForce. What are your thoughts on the recent news of the Power Ranger movie being rebooted? Obviously, we can't comment on that, which is another thing. They got to keep their lips shut on that, or whoever they're asking. Why do you think the previous Power Ranger movie underperformed? Okay, this is a really interesting question. We just want to focus on what we as Hasbro can do. We're focused on our next movie, what's coming up. So I'm guessing, like with their previous question there, like we don't want to make the same mistakes that Saban made. We want to focus on being Hasbro and know what Saban did. We're not like they don't want to pick up the old pieces that Saban left lying around with the movie and stuff like that. They want to focus on their own stuff and not do what not Hasbro, what Saban left behind. Okay, so we got a few more questions. What do you say what the Power Ranger brand needs to be mainstream? That's a really good question. Okay, so with this question, they say they want to make Power Rangers mainstream again, like make it in the mainstream perspective again. And what they're saying here is they want to make people think that Power Rangers isn't just an old 90s brand. They want to make it think of something that can be recent, because I'm sure when you ask anyone who's had a falling off of Power Rangers or they're a casual fan, they grew up on the show, they're like, hey, that's that show I watched in the 90s. What Hasbro wants to do, they want to make it think it's like just as they want to make it think it's just as new as it is old. They want to move away from Power Rangers being that old 90s brand, which is a weird thing to think about because, yeah, Power Rangers is that old 90s brand, but it's moved forward. And, like, when people think of Power Rangers who've moved on, they don't think of the later seasons. They think of mostly the 90s stuff like Zeo, Mighty Morphin, Turbo, stuff like that. So they want to think of people getting the thoughts of Power Ranger being, hey, it's not just this old, like, nostalgia thing from the 90s, it's a brand new thing. Yeah, so I get what they're saying. Okay, what are they aiming to bring to new fans with the brand? It's our content. Content is king. We have the great YouTube channel that we're growing. Is that their YouTube channel where they just upload clips of Power Rangers? I don't know. We've got a huge library of content on Netflix, which is a good answer because every season of Power Rangers thus far, like they don't have Beast Morphers on there yet, is on Netflix. They've got from Mighty Morphin to Super Ninja Steel on Netflix. And then they separate the specials, like the movies and stuff like that. My big nightmare for that answer is, how long can Hasbro pay to have Power Rangers on Netflix for? And it was my big question with Saban. How long can Saban have Power Rangers on Netflix for it? One day I'm going to wake up and it's going to be gone. And that's my biggest fear. Like, Power Rangers being on Netflix is what keeps it alive, in my opinion. And what keeps the brand alive. Because usually when I get bored or I'm editing or I'm playing a game in the background, I'll put on a random season of Power Rangers. Like, recently I binge watched all of Lost Galaxy, and then I jumped forward to Ninja Storm, because I've never seen Ninja Storm before. I should have jumped right next to Lightspeed Rescue, but I want to watch Lightspeed Rescue another day. But yeah, so having Power Rangers on Netflix is a good answer, because you've got an entire season of Power Rangers on there, but I'm guessing a lot of people who grew up on it are going to watch the seasons they remember, or maybe Mighty Morphin. Who knows? I don't know what seasons everyone watches on Netflix these days, but I try and binge whatever I can when it comes to Power Rangers on Netflix. Two answers left to go. This is a very interesting thing. Has Hasbro given any thoughts to do anything with Kamen Rider? And this is a really, really weird answer. We're honestly not too sure what that is. How do they not know what Kamen Rider is? I mean, I guess the person that they asked is a very, very big normie person who doesn't know what Kamen Rider is. I mean, Kamen Rider in Japan is big as Super Sentai, or maybe even bigger right now. Who knows? I don't know which one's doing better right now on the sales chart and stuff like that. But how can you say you don't know what Kamen Rider is? I mean, you're the marketing guy. You're the brand marketing guy. You gotta know what maybe Kamen Rider is. Like, I guess the person that was the marketing guy is not a Tokusatsu fan, I'm guessing, but he's like, we do have a good partnership with our Japanese partners, but right now Hasbro is focusing on Power Rangers. That just still weirds me out, going, how can you not know what Kamen Rider is? Like, if you know what Super Sentai is, you gotta know what Kamen Rider is at least. But oh well. This is a really interesting answer, because apparently they've been asked it a lot, even in meme form I joke about it. Have you given any thoughts for Power Rangers to crossover with other brands like Transformers? I'd love to see a Power Rangers Transformer crossover. They say, we've been shocked many times this has been asked, but right now we've been focusing over a brand. We've had the brand for a little over a year. we're focused on establishing Power Rangers before it crosses over with any of our other properties. So they want to focus on Power Rangers for a few more years before we get that announcement that we're getting a Transformers and Power Rangers crossover, or a My Little Pony and Power Rangers crossover. Have they done a Transformers and My Little Pony crossover? I swear they did a comic many, many years ago. I could be wrong. I could have dreamt that or something, or I could have saw that as a meme or an April Fool's joke, but have they done that before? That sounds really, really familiar. If they've done that before, who knows? But that's a really interesting answer, saying, hey, we want to focus on Power Rangers and then move on to other stuff. So yeah. So that's me reading the interview Power Rangers Now did with Hasbro. They gave some really, really interesting answers for this interview. I mean, they had to keep hush-hush for some of it, but most of their answers were very interesting, and I'm surprised by some of them they gave. If you want to read the toy part of the interview, I'll have a link in the description. I'm sorry I didn't go over it, but like I said, Lightning figures and other Power Ranger Beast Morpher toys aren't available in Australia yet from what I've seen. I've gone to Target, Big W, Kmart, even a few pop culture stores. I haven't seen any Power Ranger related toys at Australian retailers yet, so I have to look online for them, but I don't want to pay for the import prices, you know, that stuff. But anyway, Hasbro gave some interesting answers, and if you want to read the full interview, I'll put a link down in the description. Be sure to check them out. Power Rangers Now. They put out good stuff. They put out all the Power Rangers news. It's where I get my Power Ranger news from, and you should check them out as well. Anyway, thanks for watching this video. If you enjoyed this video, hit that thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel if you're new, so like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff, and I'll see you guys in the near future. Peace out.
Yummy, 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 yummy fruits. I did my time and I went out. So a fuse of it doesn't cut. The soul is not so vibrant. The reckoning, the sickening, packaging subversion, pseudo-sacred perversion. Go drill your deserts, go dig your graves.